correspondence, they had specifically stated, our position has not changed, that, from the prior applications that we've reviewed. Our position has not changed in that the current access driveway is only for the post office use, and any changes would be a concern for Mass DOT.
Okay.
Who
So,
wants to address the issue?
who wants to address the issue? Please state your name for the record.
Robert Williams, owner of Star Construction Company. We've reached out to the DOT, and the DOT has informed us that they can't make any decision. They will not entertain any motion until either a plan is approved by the planning board, which would give them authority to act at that point. So at this point, unless the plan is approved, the DOT won't get involved in any way, shape, or form. So at this point, we're waiting on a decision from the board as to whether they accept the plan that we've put forward or not.
And the way it was stated, I think they have an access for the post office only.
Only.
And not the gas station. And they were pretty adamant about that. So I believe we have a problem with the gas station. The access is only for the post office.
So we're asking for a decision, I need a definite answer, either it's a no or it's a yes. We're looking for a yes, obviously, but if it's a no, that's fine, but we need to know
I think
what the
if I could
decision of the board
interject,
is.
I think what the board is having problems with, if I could speak for them, is we want something done with that property as much as you want something done with that property. And frankly, I think it's become quite the eyesore. And like I said, I'd love to see something happen. But unfortunately, based on the information that we were told, our hands are tied. And unless we could get some kind of authorization from the post office, which is federal, and now we're talking a different level, am I correct, gentlemen? There's not much more we could do with it.
I think the curb cut is Mass State DOT.
That's
Mass
the work.
So it's the DOT. The DOT specifically said that that entrance is for the post office only. I mean, this is going back and forth now for a couple of years. I mean, I want it to be a business as much as you do. Our hands are tied. We can't approve something and then wait for Mass DOT, to come back and say, we told you it isn't gonna work. So they approve something that we can't make happen. There's a safety issue over there. It's just the way the access to the building is. That building was never really meant to be used again. You've got a crosswalk, you have a light, you have a sharp right-hand turn, and you have buku amounts of traffic in the morning. And it's hard enough taking a left into that post office. I mean, it's a life and safety issue.
Personally, I don't think we can approve something right now where Mass DOT says no until something's approved, and then if they deny it and we approve it, they could come back at us and say, all right, well, you said okay, we could do something. I'm just saying, it's you said, I said thing, and
But basically, what I'm saying is, Mass DOT has no authority to do anything unless the town decides to do something with that property and approves a plan, whether it's my plan or somebody else's plan. They will not get involved, they will not make a decision, they will not move. At that point, if the town decided to do something with it, then the party that got the approval from the town would be able to go before the DOT, petition them for a decision. They may shoot it down. It may not go anywhere, but they will not even entertain talking to somebody until something has been approved by the town to go in there. So what I'm saying tonight is, please tell me yes or tell me no, but don't tell me maybe, because maybe doesn't get us anywhere. We're right back in a circle.
It's a vicious circle. So as a safety issue, I can't myself approve something that I feel that somebody could get hurt. And I think it falls on Mass DOT as the applicant and the owner. I mean, the onus is on you guys, get the curb cut.
We can't go to the DOT unless the town says that there's reason to go to DOT. The DOT says unless something happens to that property, they have no reason to get involved.
Well, you've made an application for something to happen to that building. Unfortunately, we can't give you the go-ahead, because God forbid if anything happened, it falls on us.
Then,
So until Mass DOT accepts the curb cut issue and gives you a definition of what they want to do,
Mass DOT doesn't exist. The Town of Groveland Planning Board exists to make a decision. Please make a decision, either yes or no.
Mr.
I
Chair,
don't
if I
care
may,
either
I
way.
think the issue is essentially that legally, can you claim that the site has access? If a site does not have access, can you really hear an application to make use of the building that does not have access? Maybe the issue, if I may, is that the owner of the property needs to decipher with Mass DOT the legal rights to his property and the legal use of his property. If they're stating that the curb cut was open for the post office and the post office only, how are we to determine that that other building should have been used based upon multiple accounts that that property was never meant to be reused and it was always meant to be torn down and whatnot, and what the appraisal had said and what so-and-so said, and goes back and forth and back and forth. This is a matter for the owner and Mass DOT to determine whether or not he has rights to access that building through that curb cut, and once they can prove that they do, we can hear an application.
I agree. On that basis, then we're not gonna,
We can't.
we can't approve it, or I'm gonna make a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion right now, it's just, we cannot prove anything until Mass DOT gives us a reasonable, if they can do a curb cut, or, would they consider a curb cut?
Well, why don't we motion that until
Till,
the applicant and the
Yes.
owner.
Please don't do until. Tell me yes or tell me no.
Okay,
Please make a
until-
decision. I don't care. I can find someplace else to go,
I'm-
but I need a decision.
I'll make a motion to say no. We
Deny
are not
prior
gonna give you the
access.
right to a curb cut, or the access to that building, from Mass DOT's letter that we got.
Until you have access, legal access to that building, defined as legal access to that garage on the corner, we cannot approve it. It's a no.
And that applies to you and anybody after you. That will be the same. We're gonna come to the same quorum every time.
Well, that's
So
what I'm
as the
saying.
owner
So
of
I,
the company, it's
Yeah,
actually
we just
the owner of the
gave you,
property.
so there's a motion on the floor saying no.
Let's let Mr. Lee has his hand up.
Okay, yep.
You want to come to the podium, please?
Yes, I thought we have not finished the discussion yet.
Can
Yeah.
you please come up?
Yes. Well, the first I want, Rebecca, is there any way you can show the writing from Mass DOT to everybody?
What's that?
Well, she said the Mass DOT is only for the post office. Where is the writing? Can we see the writing?
Yes, she has a
She's going to
letter.
print it out right now.
Okay.
Yep.
And at the same time, I have the information from Mass DOT. After that, and the letter from Mass DOT, and the Board of Planning Board also have this letter because it's copied to the town.
What's the date of that letter?
Okay.
February 9th, 2021.
It's not being proposed as a site use for a restaurant anymore.
Right.
This is a whole different use.
There's a whole
but
different use, so you can't, yeah.
Just read all this. So basically, they want the local board approve the user first. And yes, current curb cut is not perfect. But once you approve for the user, we will work with Mass DOT to make the curb cut better. So we will expand the curb cut. So we are allowed the other building to be used. So I'm asking you to give us a chance to work with Mass DOT to expand the curb cut. Then we can get the approval for the,
If you
for
can
the
get
other
them to
building
change their
use.
mind, and we can have that letter that you're seeing right there say otherwise, our hands are tied.
Pass that down, Rebecca. I may overstep my bounds, but I think until you can make that an accessible access to that one site, we're not going to approve it. I think it's pretty well spoken for. And we haven't made an emotion yet because we're letting you speak. So,
Yeah, but,
I
but
don't,
my
at this point, I
understanding.
don't
Okay.
care about a February 19th letter that states a restaurant, because that's not what Bob Williams is here for,
Okay,
okay? And until it can have legal access, a safe access to that site that's approved by, it has to be approved by Mass DOT, or they're the ones who have to do the curb cut. We can't say, yes, you can have a curb cut. You have to present,
okay.
you have to
Okay. Let
present.
me just explain to you. If you see my page I give to you,
Yeah.
on the last two page over there, these lots have 3 lots. The next one, and also have the town lots at the back of the lots.
Doesn't matter, there's a front,
And,
there's
and
There's
there
frontage
is-
issues. That's,
front-
Yes, yes, but what I said is there is town lots at the back. There is the closing donation box over there, and for people getting in and out. There are no such only for post office use, because town people use for drop off the clothes all the time.
Make it correct. Just because they do it doesn't mean they
yeah,
should.
well, then they could then have them, remove the, drop-off for the clothes.
That's what I try to tell you. I mean, so if we improve the curb cut, it will be benefits for the town.
If you can make that happen, make it happen.
But they want the planning board approve for the user first. Then we can, if
We
you
can't
it's for
reuse
land-
it.
We're liable. We could get sued
we
ourselves.
can't, we're in a rock and a hard place.
Yes, so,
So, until Mass DOT, if it was their mistake, which we've heard multiple times, like Rebecca has said, that the intent of that building was to come down, okay? We've given you the several chances of rectifying the problem. There is a safety problem. You wouldn't want your kids crossing that street in that traffic to enter that site, would you?
Well, what I try to say that to make improvement will be make it better, and you stay right now. It's
You
always
can't-
always like this.
I've been doing this a long time. That is
Yeah.
a tough site to make better. Until the traffic light, until that traffic push button crosswalk is moved, that's a safety issue.
Well, the push button, the traffic lights can move up, and after you
Until it's
approve
done,
for
we
the,
can't approve it.
And how are you gonna make that light? You're gonna just call
well,
the
have to work with the
transportation
Mass
department?
DOT and to work with it. But they want the town approve the user first.
Okay.
Then they can work with us for expanded curb cut.
So,
At this
if I
point,
would please,
go ahead, Jim.
the rubber meets the road right here. We wanna make it happen.
Yeah.
We wanna see your business grow. We want you there. But unfortunately, if you can get that curb cut expanded, so it's a safe and a two-way and not using the post office, then it's okay. And I think that's what we're saying. It takes that safety element into effect. But if that can never happen, unfortunately, whatever business that you have or anybody approaching you after this is still gonna fall underneath the same category. And we're gonna have the same issue after same issue.
Hold on, let me just read the email one more time. Let me read the email.
You're reading something from a whole different use of a site that was
no,
denied.
that's
No.
from Rebecca.
Let me see. Let,
Oh, okay.
let me
Stating
let me
that
read. I
they
have
will
not
not
read it.
do a
Okay.
curb
That's okay, take your time.
So, yeah.
Yes, they say the current access for post office, but they also said in this letter say that if we get approval from the planning board for the use, and they will work with me to get the expand for the curb cut. If you don't grant for the use, they cannot work with me for change the curb cut. So what I said is, if you give us opportunity, I mean, and it's under their condition, so we can work with them to get the curb cut working.
My only response to that would just be to the same as to the planning board. So if we have a lot in front of us and the lot doesn't have adequate frontage, are we able to grant an A and R?
You can't grant an A&R.
Can't.
So if
You could have
there's,
10 lots, you have 10,000 square feet, or you could have 40 acres. But if you got a 100-foot driveway and it needs 300 feet, we can't grant you access.
Yeah, but this is a pre-existing building, and this the Mass DOT already said, I mean, in the letter say,
Mr. Lee, it's a pre-existing building that had a use way back when. Unfortunately, as Don Greeley said, the Mass DOT
was supposed
bought.
to be torn
it was
down.
Purchased. It was purchased, part of it by Mass DOT. They built the bridge, they moved everything to the right, they made a guardrail, they took the road and they moved it 40 feet to the right. So they closed that building off by 40 feet. So that use is gone. So now what you have in place, you're not from here, so you didn't see it. So now what you have is you have a smaller access. You can't safely enter that. We've tried.
yeah, but that's why we want you have this is a very low traffic use. So once you get this one, common sense will tell you this traffic will not impact anything and will make it better. Is this good for everybody? I mean, if you
All
still
right, well,
not change, it's
co-
always
common
never
sense is
change,
then
right?
tear down the post office, and then you'll have
Then you'll have access.
access to the,
No, we'll never tear down the post office. Why do I tear down the post office?
well, I'm just saying, just,
Take the post
I-
office down, move the post office into the
No.
garage.
we've been
share it
going
with
for this
Bob,
for
and
3
then-
years now. It's going on for 3 years now. I
You
mean,
can't
I
have it
am
all.
up to here with your I don't want to argue anymore.
No, it's not argue. I
Yes,
try to
you're
explain to
arguing.
you.
We explained to you 100 times, and it's been argued and argued. Let's not argue anymore. Just let's get it going the way you have to do it. You know,
Until you make
do
it
your
safe.
homework.
Until you, right, you can't put it all on us.
Yes.
Until you make it safe, until you do your due diligence, until you get them to open that up, until you can prove that that is a safely accessible dwelling, we can't approve it. And once you do show us that it's safely accessible, then we'll approve it, probably with flying colors.
Absolutely.
That's not right because the Mass DOT wants you to approve for, then they can work on this one. No, you want, I mean, you don't want to, I mean, so you cannot approve. I mean, so they have to ask me, if you see the letter, they say that you have to approve first, then they will work with us for expand.
That's putting the cart before the
Yeah.
horse.
It's a dog chasing his tail.
It's just,
Mass DOT is trying to dump it on us first, and as
We're
a
not
town,
gonna do
as
it.
a town of Groveland representatives, we're not gonna approve it until they approve something for themselves first.
But they don't know what's used. What is used? You
Well,
approve for the use.
Show
show
them the
them the
plan.
site plan.
Because they say the town's not approved yet. How they going to approve? I mean, if they
Well,
approve,
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
approve yet.
File this plan, because the restaurant wasn't approved either, and then,
What you can do
But
is take
did
the
you-
minutes
okay,
from tonight,
okay.
Mr. Lee. You could take
Did
the
you
minutes
see
from
the letter?
tonight.
I gave it to you. They said exactly. They say that you have to have the local board approve user first. See the sentence right here.
We're not
Yes,
go-
we know. We
but
can
we're not
read.
gonna
We can
approve
read.
Something that isn't safe. I'm not going to prove, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not, no matter what you say, I am not going to approve something that is not accessible safely. It doesn't, I'm here
Okay.
to protect the town. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
I make a motion to deny the plans until Mass DOT, so they get approval from Mass DOT, to make it accessible for safety.
we say confirms they have legal access to the building.
Yeah,
Safe
legal
legal
access to
access.
the buildings, yes.
And I
Because I know the post office has legal access, yeah.
And that
Legal
doesn't
access
mean-
to the or
And
gas
that doesn't
station?
mean using the
a
insurance
fo-
company
a
next
former,
door.
former building, so.
It's already blocked. It's blocked
So,
over a year.
yeah.
People don't use it over
Got a
there.
motion on the table,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And again, have it 3 more feet if that's what you need. Have DOT expand it.
10 feet.
10 feet? Okay, whatever the
Plus.
number is.
Yep.
And the light, the crosswalk, the light, that all has to change.
I make a motion to close the hearing.
So motion. Second.
Yeah, second.
Aye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry, Bob.
Sorry about,
Well,
no,
the decision is a decision, and that's what I needed to do.
exactly, I know you did, yes.
So,
Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that. I think, I don't know where it goes from here, but at least I know.
Exactly, Bob,
Yeah,
no,
thank you.
exactly, yeah.
All right.
okay. Do we have anything else?
So under director's update, I just wanted to apologize again for sending out the meeting invite and then canceling all of our future meetings. They are not canceled. So I will continue to send out monthly updates with the meeting dates for that month, just because they do change occasionally, but at least give you a placeholder. And then also, I just wanted to remind you about the ethics certificates. So
I think everybody's got them except for Wally.
I think Jim has it as
So
the
it's September?
end of September.
Yeah.
So I just have a running note until we get all of them completed, and then Wally as well.
Does Mike have, do you have anything?
Oh,
Okay. All right,
And that's it, Mr. Chair.
all right, so can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting at,
Second.
8:30 or whatever.
7:30.
I'm sorry, yeah, 7:30. Oh, jeez.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I second it.
Okay, all in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Um,